How you guys doing? So today I'd like to address the uh, the passport bros and the red pill and and all these and all these guys who go around talking all this manosphere shit. Like literally, I see these guys, you know, dick riding and fucking glorifying the 50s and how it was with 50. Now, not a lie, there were great things about that era, the 50s, 60s, uh, the 40s, but what a lot of these guys, especially the young followers, don't understand is that back in the 50s, it was actually harder to be a man then than it is now. Back then you had to, if these guys had to work the way men of that era were put to work, okay, they wouldn't be able to handle that shit. A lot of these guys, a lot of behaviors that guys get away with today, that would have never happened in the back in those days. They'll talk about how about how marriage was great and all, and I mean, here's the thing about it. What they leave out is that the fact that back in those days, when guys married, not just here's the thing, not just women were limited in their marriage options, because these guys love to say, oh, there's women have endless options, and I'm like, yeah, in the 50s they had less options, but you know who else had less options for marriage? The guys did, because back then, you know, you the only your only marriage option for guys back then too, just like the women, was within their own community, probably within your own town, within your own looks level, your own social class, and they leave that out. And these guys talk about making all this money and getting this younger chick, and I'm like, yeah, you could do that, but you know, that shit would have never flown in the 50s for the most part. There were a few exceptions to the rule, but for the most part, this whole delusion these guys have of it just didn't happen. I'd say for the most part, and these guys they want to talk about being waiting till the 30s to be successful and getting this younger chick that's that has minimal education, doesn't have any money, doesn't have any assets of her own, doesn't know how to do anything, um, has no tangible skills out there other than the looks. And these are the same guys who they'll go up to women and be like, "Oh, what do you bring to the table?" I'm like, dude, the type of girls you guys are going for, they're not going to bring anything. And to be real, the guys in this country, a lot of them want chicks out of their league. A lot of them do. And they don't realize the hidden price not just they pay, but their kids. And for decades, and this is gonna set, and I know this may sound kind of shallow and it's gonna sound kind of weird to you guys, but what I've seen too is that a lot in America, you had a lot of ugly ass dudes get with like very attractive women, married, had kids with them, and the problem is that the kids oftentimes they get their dad's genetics. So yeah, they come out ugly. If you look at the parents, of some of these incels, of some of the incels that go on these forums and these channels and on Reddit, some of these guys, not all, but there's a good number of them. If you look at their parents, you'll see what you'll see what I mean. Okay, the truth is that when a baby is born, most of his genetics he's gonna get from his father. There's a reason why. A lot of trophy wives, because let's be honest about trophy wives too. Oftentimes, when a guy gets a trophy wife, it's usually a guy that's ugly. It's usually a guy that's, not that great looking and just wants to check out of his league. And the consequences for that is that oftentimes these trophy wives, they're not good moms. They're not good moms because, again, the kid looks nothing like her. And this is why, and in the United States, back in the 50s, it was usually attractive people got with attractive people, ugly people got with ugly people, average people got with average people. But then today, I see, not just the hot chicks doing this shit, but I see like attractive guys who are lazy. They don't want to put in the effort to attract a girl that's like on their level, looks wise, and they're getting with fucking like average chicks. They're getting with fat chicks, and they're doing it because it's easy because it's easier for them to do. Because think about it, a girl that's 250 pounds, 300 pounds doesn't have a very high self-esteem, doesn't have a very high image of herself. A guy that's so all of a sudden this like this guy comes up to her, very physically fit, has the that has the facial features, has like all that shit. What do you think's gonna happen? And I've seen like well, they called it a whale surfing, I think. It's basically like attractive guys that get with ugly chicks just for like like score easy sex, and I'm like, that's what's fucking like that's what's fucking up marriage and relationships too, because instead of putting the effort to attract their counterpart, no, they're going for what's fucking easy. Same when it comes to the money, and I know that passport bros, like, they love to say how because of how they'll talk about how marriage works and like in all these other countries and how the divorce rate is much lower, blah blah blah. Yeah, because it is, because not only people, here's why, because not only people not only marry their social class, they also go for, sorry, they don't just go for their looks level, they go for the same social class. So you're not going to see like athletes, because in America, when you come to the United States, you're going to see athletes. You're going to see athletes who are like famous, successful, the best in their team, whatever, and have actually won championship games and all that. And you'll see them like, and then next thing you know, you'll see them paying like $10,000 of child support. And when you look at the mothers of the kids, these chicks are like hood chicks. They're like ratchet ghetto chicks. These guys are getting from the hood, and I'm thinking to myself, yeah, they're going for what's fucking easy. They're not putting in the effort to get a girl on their level. And when you look at like athletes from other parts of the world, you don't see that. You're not going to see that. Like you'll never see it like a Brazilian soccer player going to the favelas to try and find a wife. You're never going to see like a cricket player in India doing that shit. You're not gonna see that shit. Just like you'll never see like some like some hot Brazilian chick getting with some ugly ass fucking like guy, even if he has money. And it's like other cultures, they don't it's a complete 180. And you come to America and you're gonna see guys that are fat, guys that are like ugly, and they want to act conceited, they want to act entitled, and when you go to other cultures, it's usually the less attractive guys. They tend to be more humble about it. They're like, okay, fine, this is this is the, for to get a wife. Okay, this is what I'm gonna. This is what she's probably gonna look like if I ever wanna be with like a baddie. I'll just get a prostitute. But no, in America, these guys they want to take a baddie and make her his wife and the mother of his kids. And then when things go bad for them, you know, they're crying on these podcasts. And also, when you look at and also, like I said, same thing with like a lot of these pygmies, for example. You'll never see these pygmies like you'll never see these girls like pearly things. You'll never see them like fucking um, making these videos and agreeing with fucking with the red pill. You're not gonna see that. A lot of them they're gonna get with whatever guy they can get with. That's on on her own socioeconomic level. But then here you got all these chicks that are like they're not the great look. They're not that great looking, and they're literally telling guys that I'll be your doormat. Please marry me. Because they know that in America, all guys with money, they're even regardless of how he looks. A lot of guys with money in this country, they don't want a chick that looks average. They don't. When you look at, for example, I forgot what rapper it was, who said this, but he said I think he was on Charlemagne, or I think that's the guy's name. He was on Charlemagne's show, and he was saying that a lot of guys in America, a lot of rappers, he was saying that a lot of guys in the States that are like rich, a lot of them are getting with ran through women, and I'm like, yeah, because again, they want baddies. Like, yeah, a lot of these guys that are getting with them, they're not attractive, and they want the most attractive girl they lay their eyes upon, and then surprise, surprise, she's ran through. She's a single mom. She has because when you look at it, no girl that's on that looks level is gonna be 18 years old and wanting a guy that looks like these fucking guys. No, that's just not gonna happen. That's why whenever I see these guys that's why whenever I see like an unattractive guy with like a girl that's very attractive, it's like fine, enjoy it while it lasts, but it's like she's not with you for you. Now, there's guys who have no problem with purchasing the girlfriend experience. I have nothing against it. Because some guys really have no other choice. But you have guys within these manosphere, passport bro, red pill, black pill circles that they want chicks that are way out of their league to love them for them. It doesn't work like that. Okay? And even people in other cultures, like I said, you go to other cultures, even the most illiterate fucking, you could take the most illiterate peasants, even they know what the fuck is up with getting with someone of your social class, getting someone that's on your level. Even the most illiterate peasant, out in these Latin American countries and Southeast States, even they understand this. Even they understand that if that you're just better off getting with someone on your level. And then a lot of American dudes, they don't understand that. Or just guys in the West. Guys in the West, any guy who unfortunately, has had these ideologies have put their hooks in them. And yes, I am a bit of a. Here's the thing. I am a bit of a black pillar myself. I don't really delve deep into it because back when I was like deeper into the that community back in like 20, I'd say like 2022, 2023, I realized that a lot of it is full of guys who are just like who are like sick in the head. They're not well mentally. They're not doing anything to better themselves. You know, if they want to, they just want to sit around and want results to come to their lap. It doesn't work like that. A lot of them I saw were like children of immigrants who pretty much lost their culture. A lot of them were like embarrassed to be of a certain race, which is just um, which I'm like, what the fuck? And I saw a lot of self hatred, a lot of mental illness, like I said, in these in the Black Pill community. So even though I do agree that you're better off with, someone on your level, I know you're not. I'm not saying that it's over for ugly guys or like guys that are like that are subpar, but I see a lot of subpar dudes who think that just because they're a somebody or they have a successful career or they have all this money, that automatically overrides the looks part. And even back in the day, it was understood that it didn't work like that. Even back in the 50s, except for here's the thing, maybe except for like a few exceptions, but that was it. That was it. And well, anyway, I'll catch you guys in the next video.